Hello friends, it's the Grub back once again here, and we are with the KSP. If you recall last time, our goal right now is to make it to Eeloo for the series, but for the time being, we're just going to try and get into a geosynchronous polar orbit, and as you recall last time, we had some problems with that, and we also had another problem. I updated my Deadly Reentry to the newest version, uh, and I went ahead and hired some Kerbal knots off screen there. Just clicked and hired, just didn't make a care. But if you recall the last video, at the end of it, I was setting up the alarm clock, and I had the one craft sitting out on the pad. Well, Jebediah was piloting that, and when I updated the Deadly Reentry, for some reason it didn't install the parts. So when I loaded up the game, before I realized that that ship was still on the launch pad and Jebediah was still in it, and it was lost because one of the parts was not there. So we're going to have to go ahead and say that Jebediah died from some natural cause or unnatural cause or some such. He didn't die on mission, so he's still considered a hero. So, like I said, what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and try and get a rocket together. I have added one more mod, and I've already gone ahead and unlocked the tech for it. Oh, not all of it, apparently. Oh, that's part of the, yeah. I go back through and research these parts again from Deadly Reentry. There we go. But these, if you recall, in one of my previous series, the KSP, I had the MapSat Pro system, and it was nice. Problem was, it was not being updated. It was not being kept up to date. So I picked up MapSat. That was it was the ISA MapSat package that I had previously, but it wasn't being updated regularly. It wasn't. I don't believe it ever got updated to work with 0.23. So I found a new one finally, just MapSat or SatMap. I can't remember off the top of my head, or SCANsat, something like that. It'll be in the message at the bottom. I'm bad at remembering things. ScanMap. Yeah, that's what I think it's ScanMap. Yeah, the acronym there, Scientific Committee on Advanced Navigation. So yeah, it's ScanMap, I think is the name. But that's going to allow me to do to map planets and all that again. So we'll start that. In fact, since we're shooting for a polar geosynchronous orbit, we can probably shoot for trying and do that this time. So I'll go ahead and I'll build the rocket, and I'll be right back once I've done that. See you then. Alright folks, well we are back, and I believe I have it here. I went ahead, if you recall from the previous episode, we were having issues where I guess the rocket was a little too long and it was always trying to fall over. So I went back to the Mark III design and just updated a little. I think the Mark III would have had enough fuel to make it to the geosynchronous orbit. But we'll find out. Let's see if we can do that. As you also see here, I've added on some extra hard drives just to make sure I can pull all the information I need. I got the communicator so that we can relay back if we go over KSP. I have 81 days worth of food and water, more than we'll need, because I think I only got 16 hours of electricity. Again, probably more than we'll need. And I also have on our scan radar so we can get low-res altimeter readings of Kerbal. So, let's go ahead and just make sure I have everything set up that I need. I don't believe I need to have that actually on the rocket for it to work. But let's go ahead and check it out. Let's go ahead and put it on the launch pad just to see. Okay, no, I didn't. Because I believe I just activate this, just hit start, and it'll start doing it right there. And it'll constantly do that till we get... And apparently I can get science from it too, but I'm not sure how. I was playing around with it on my on a test career to see how it all worked. And it said it would give me science, but it never gave me science. Anyway, off we go. Let's see about getting us to... First, let's get to a polar orbit and see if we can make geosynchronous orbit at the time. So off we go. Okay, well, I'm not going to be able to burn straight up to it because right now I got a little too much atmosphere effect and something pulling me downward whenever I start up my engine. Okay, I think I can start burning now. Let's see if I can get right up into that orbit that I'm looking for. Like I said, I think GeoSync is 233. But I can't quite remember. Okay, what is going on here? Why is this thing all tumbly? It's because I got all this stuff on this side? I wonder if that's what's causing it. Not quite in the orbit I'm looking for yet. I want to get my inclination to about 78 degrees. Because that'll be, one, that's a good one for mapping through the polar orbits. So I want to say 236s. I'll stop it at 220 and double check while I'm waiting for it to catch up. So I'll be right back. Okay, I was wrong. It's not 230,000 meters. It's 2,868.75 kilometers. So, yeah, we aren't going to probably make GeoSync with this, but let's just see how high we can get without this damn thing tumbling on me. Yeah, point your ass up. You want to do the loop-de-loops? That's fine. We can do loop-de-loops. I don't think I'm going to make GeoSync with this and be able to still make it back, so what I think I will do, let me just try and put it on the inclination I'm looking for here. I'll go ahead and we'll speed this up, and when we get to time to burn so we can get our periapsis up, I'll be back for that. I should have enough fuel to do that without overdoing it. So we'll be back. Alright, we're just doing a little burn here to circularize our orbit a little better. Might take us a couple of more here until we get to the Apple apps again, so I'll go ahead and set another alarm. We got about 40 minutes till that happens. Like I said, I said I wouldn't speed things up, but that's if I have other things I can do. Right now, this really is about the only thing we have planned at the moment, because I can't really, you know, if I had the stuff to put up satellites right now, I'd probably go ahead and start doing that, putting that together and launching that until this comes around, but since I don't, let's go ahead and I will fast forward at this point, using the in-game fast forward as well, just so we can shorten this video up a little bit, and hopefully I should still keep enough fuel by the time I get it circularized. Okay. And now we wait. Wait till the time to apps is under 20 seconds, and then we can do a little burn, and that should give us enough to. That'll change our pre-apsis height without changing our apps height. I've been practicing and watching other people's videos. So, try to achieve more stable orbit without having to use the maneuver nodes. Sometimes those maneuver nodes, they don't work so well. Oh, another mod I have on here, I don't know if I didn't mention, was enhanced Nav Ball, which adds a few more maneuver points on the ball itself to kind of help realize where some things are, because I'm not sciencey enough to know all that. Like where to burn normal or anti-normal, which are these triangles, I believe, in order to change my inclination. Because I will need to change my inclination a little bit so I can get this as close to 78 as possible. Just gonna wait here until we get back under the 20 seconds to see how close to a good circular orbit we can get. Since we lost Jebediah, we have Bill in the pod. I think that'll be good enough. This is going to change anyway when I burn this to change my angle. That's not going to help none anyway, doing that. Come on. Just do something good for once. I'm at a dangerous point. I'm going to be too much out of fuel. But that doesn't mean we can't still attempt. See, we got high over Kerbal now, so we actually have some new science. Go ahead and fill the hard drive. Take a crew report. Pop old Bill out. No, pop him out. Take the EVA report. just kind of hope I can at least close it. Oh well. Okay, and now let's go ahead and break open our SCANsat. And that will slowly start scanning for our planet Kerbal. And it's doing a low-res scan. And we only got 0.3% now. Come over here, as you can see, we're not quite on, so we're going to have a hole over our polar orbit area, which we'll have to correct, but we'll probably correct that later with when we have satellite coverage. This is just the chance for the Kerbals to get their first look at their home planet from space via satellites, or via mapping. Now see what this does here, this one constantly updates, but it doesn't write anything. The big map, however, only updates when you select it and this red line goes across it. At that point it's actually writing the map. So it's not a it's not an intensive mapping system until you start doing this and you got all these different things showing up. You know, because you can get your color ones, which give you that, but since I'm doing low res scan, we don't have access to color maps at this point. I don't believe we do. No, yeah, it's just black and white maps right now, or grayscale. But also with the low res scan, I can check my slopes, and it'll give me a low res view of the slopes. Which I guess I'm going over an ocean right now because there's no slope. And also once I get the proper satellite scanner, I'll be able to scan for biomes. Now unfortunately I do not have that as of this time. So right now it's strictly doing a low-res grayscale altimetry scan of Kerbal. And we'll let that go and do its thing. We have plenty of time before we need to start turning around. In fact, we'll see if we can have him start doing his calculations to see if he'll actually be able to make it back home. Okay. Oh yeah, he'll be able to make it back home. He's 160 Delta V heal needs and still got 598, so we'll be fine. Yeah. So yeah, we'll be fine. We will make it back to Kerbal. In the meantime, we'll go ahead and we'll just map this, and I will just leave it to go to do its thing. We'll be back. Actually, I just thought of something. All I need is 152. Let's say we'll just need 200 to get the what we want, to be able to pull ourselves back in. I think I might be able to add, put some more adjust the angle a little more here. Well, I'm not gonna mess with it because I'll throw myself off and end up getting stuck in space probably. So go ahead and, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to speed warp this one since I don't have anything else going right now. We're in no position to send anything to Moho at the moment, so don't have to worry about that. You probably won't be in any position to send anything to Jewel either. Theoretically, we may have enough science by the time Duna comes around to be able to send a probe to Duna. I don't know, maybe. You might be able to send a probe to Eeloo. 65 days, that's pretty far out. So yeah. So I'll go ahead and run this until this gets down to right about there on electric charge. And we'll be back. Okay, well, we got down to about there on the electric charge, like I said. Let's go ahead and bring up the big map. As you can see, we've gotten 43.3% of Kerbal mapped, but we're missing the poles. Let's go ahead and update this map. And like I said, since this is still part of the, or we're still doing orbits around Kerbal itself, we're still considering this part of the Archrid series of missions. The Archrid series will end once we have reached GeoSync. But there we go. That is our view of Kerbal so far. Rather sparsed out, but like I said, now we're going to have to go ahead and probably start pulling back here. I want to transfer as much into the command pod for power. I don't want... I want the command pod to keep power. I don't need none of my guys dying from stale air and no food or water. So I'm just going to go ahead and start transferring all that stuff in. No, I don't want to balance all. I want all to go in. Just so we can start preparing. Of course, you know, we don't need carbon dioxide. But we don't have enough in there to really worry about. I don't worry about dumping it. They'll bring our trash gas back with us. And, let's see. I think when we get electric charge down to about 200 will be a good time to start preparing for the return. And like I said, right now I'm not shooting to return to any space specific. Any spot specifically. We're just going to burn prograde. I'm sorry, retrograde. There we go. That's what I was going to wait for. And just see where it'll land us. So, let's go ahead and do it. Of course, we gotta be careful because this thing wants to push up on us. Despite the SAS. But hopefully having the what have yous will fix that. The I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. The one I'm hoping I'll be getting this time around. Oops. Too low. Too busy trying to fiddle with this thing. I got enough fuel here to fix my adjustment. There we go. Shoot for 25. That's my goals. Okay, let's go ahead and analyze the data. Got 10 science there. Okay, I don't think it's going to do properly, which means I may not be getting this back. Okay, let me see if I can EVA out to it real fast. And it's something I didn't try last time, trying to EVA out. After that atmospheric EVA, that airwalk I did, I actually have gotten a little bit better at doing EVA burns with my packs. Okay, no, I can't grab data off of it. Okay. Now, I sometimes still forget which button I'm pressing. Like, I'll press down too many times because I forgot that I've already pressed it. There we go. Alright, all that's left to do now is drop back into Kerbal. It's going to be about 15 minutes till we do that. In the meantime, yeah, we'll wait till we get low enough. So I'll be back once we're low enough. Again, time warping. Okay, so now we're back into the 0.1 time warp. We're actually starting to prepare ourselves to re-enter. Go ahead and dump this load off my back. And just so that we have no problems when this lands and it doesn't blow up on anybody, dump. After all, we don't want to have anybody get killed. And an explosion, do we? And lock it off. Arm our chute. And just ride the gravity. Let's watch as that falls away. And it's going to catch Ferrams here. Or it's going to catch the atmosphere. Ferrams is going to play with it. Probably should have dropped it lower. Maybe from now on, I'll drop them when I'm like about this point. Because it's actually pretty fun to sit there and watch them blow up under you. Managed to do that a couple times. Let's see, where is our projected point of impact? It's going to be somewhere on this island, or this big continent. So it may not be a water landing. Awesome. Of course, no promises on that. Shields are holding up good. Nothing's blowing up so far. That's always a good thing. Chutes have popped, and the chutes have blown up. This is not good. Probably gonna have to fix that. Though it's not going to really matter to Bill. Bill is now dead. He's coming rocketing in. There's nothing I can say other than see if we can't jump out of the elevator before it goes off. And use our EVA pack, see if we can't slow ourselves down. Little Kerbal rocket. Okay, well, we survived that. Let's see if we can't just keep it up. Let's grab an EVA report. I may have enough EVA repellent. I don't think it's going to work out, because I'm falling pretty fast, but who knows. We had a ditch. That's something they should add. Or I know there's a mod out there that adds ditch chutes. But, come on, Bill. Be a hero. Be a hero, Bill. Bill was a hero, but a dead one. Well, that was a failure. I'm really not sure what happened there. My chutes blew up. I wonder if that's part of the new deadly reentry, if that it's actually taking the chutes into effect now. Let's go back to the Space Center. We have lost us another one. Bill has passed away. And that is all we have. And that is all we're going to do for this episode. We made our polar orbit. We still need to work on geosynchronous. But we lost another one of our Kerbal nuts. It's a sad day for all. Let me just check something here. I'm hoping that that we don't get the map data. But I'm thinking because I did write it, we do get the map data. Let me just take a look here though. Yeah. So even though this didn't survive and I wasn't able to actually transmit it back, it was still able to get that data. So, not a good thing. Oh well. Bob, you are the next. Sacrifice in the Archer missions to attempt to reach the geostationary orbit. But for now, this has been the Bgrubz playing KSP on our long road to Eeloo to place a Kerbal on the face of Eeloo. We made our polar orbit. We died on reentry, and I'll have to, I guess, tweak these to decide when it's going to open. Or I may just have to set it to open to myself so that we don't do it while we're in the burn phase. But this has been the Bgrubz. Take it easy. Bye-bye.